Congratulations to Mr. Al Johnson, 2023 Candlepin Hall of Fame. It's got to be a great feeling for you.
Yeah, Paul, it was unexpected, to be honest with you, because I've been out of the game for like 15, 16 years. I had to move down to Connecticut, and I got back into bowling when I got back, and a lot of people kind of recognized me. I was really surprised at that. And then I had got recognized. They told me they were putting me an application for me to go into the Hall of Fame, and I actually didn't know what to say at first because I really was gone out of the game for a while. I don't think I made enough contributions to it, but I couldn't be happier. This is like probably the best day of my life. I bought a new suit. I haven't had a new suit ever, So
you still have the world record of a 10 strings at 15.25. No one's touched that in quite a while.
Well, yeah, that's because I don't think it's because of that. You had Sean Baker come up to me during a match, and he said, "Alfie, I'd thrown a 15.20." Excuse me, a 15.18. I'm like, "No, you didn't." And he said, "Yeah, I did," because I'm like, that was really hard to do because Steve Adney's had a 15.20 himself, and he said, "Alfie, they don't do 10 stringers anymore." I think maybe like a guy like Josh Daly, some of these younger guns now, they don't get to bowl the 10 stringers, and that's unfair. So, not just to say this, I don't know who's going to listen to it, but me and this guy are going to start doing more 10 stringers so we can get some of these younger guys to maybe beat records. They become better bowlers. It's just what 10 stringers do.
How'd you get the idea for Candlepins for Cancer?
Well, when I got the job, my best friend owned a charity casino he bought up in Hampton Beach, and he asked me to come up and work for him, and of course I did because he's one of my closest friends. And I didn't realize they had it, and I was stupid because it took me 2 years to realize that I could apply for it. And I've always tried to do things, even when I was bowling younger, to do charity events because I think Candlepins, like other sports, should do many more. They actually do, charity work. But I think we should do a lot more of it. Get our name out there, get these guns going. And I just think the bowling alley owners should get more of it. It's a personal feeling there. But if more bowlers got into 501c3s and started their own charities and raising money, you get 35% of the gross every day from these charity casinos. You only get 10 days a year. That could enhance our game, create more tournaments for these kids, and maybe get some more 10 stringers in there, So that's my next goal. And I have another one that I'm going to spring on you someday, but not today.
All right. A 3-letter word for going to the Candlepin Hall of Fame.
Wow.
All right, Al Johnson.
I would ask Alfie Johnson and Nick Norcross to come forward. Well, if you've been around Al a long time, you know things are fun and laughs to the intensity of competitive bowling. When you dig deeper into who many might call a character, you find a desire to help those in need and promote a game he dearly. A lot of years with Alfie, back in the western New England area. He was encouraged early on by none other than Charlie Jutras to join the Pro Tour and engage in TV roll-offs. Turns out that was great advice. Al was a 5-time WCBC Tour champion as well as Bowler of the Year in 1992. He took top prizes in 6 Western New England Tour stops and has been part of the Championship World's title in 1990 that included the father-son tandem of Harry and Steve Renaud. A lot of years with Alfie. Ironman Alfie holds the record for highest 10-string performance with a 15.25. Al's best single, 199, triple, 478, and high five, 768. With too many TV shows to list, Alfie was the 5th seed in the live True Value 1993 Channel 5 show, defeating Craig Holbrook, Hall of Famer. Then, falling to Brian McKinley 27-20 in a 2-frame overtime to end up 4th place. Long before founding the 501c3 charity Candlepin for Cancer 3 years ago, Alfie had organized fundraising tournaments collecting in excess of $15,000 for Multiple Sclerosis Society. He stepped in to help Peter Flynn, who needed surgery following a brain aneurysm. Now you'll find Alfie spending weekends cheering and sometimes chiding Candlepins for Cancer bowlers while working his charitable casino connections with the New Hampshire to benefit C4C. It's appropriate to share an amusing and true anecdote involving Al and his dear friend, Charlie Jutras. As Charlie tells it, there was a TV roll-off in Brattleboro, Vermont. Alfie was driving me to the tournament. I'm in the back seat. He pulls into the parking lot. Meanwhile, 4 guys are getting out of another car. So Alfie says to them, "Are you here to bowl in the tournament for the TV roll-off?" "Yeah," the guy says, "we are. Why don't you just go home?" "I got Charlie Jutras back here," Alfie chirped. "There's no sense of you bowling." They went home. Do you believe that? They got in their car and they left. Al Johnson, character for sure, humanitarian, and now Candlepin Bowling Hall of Fame member. Congratulations, Alfie. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Nick, you want to speak first?
I'm just going to leave this right there.
Want me to hold that?
Yeah, sure.
Let him hold it.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say congratulations to this year's class. All very, very much awarding. When I first found out when Al came back into the world of bowling, I said, wow, I said, Al Johnson, you know? And eventually I got to finally meet him and bowl against him, and, you know, we became great friends after that. And I said to him, I said, I got to get you in the Hall of Fame. And he basically just said, yeah, okay, sure. And I got all the stuff together, and I harassed him with, I don't know how many questions about certain tournaments and different stats, and, you know, eventually, you know, with the help of the board and the committee, we got him in, and very, very awarding, and very happy that he's finally in. So, congratulations, Alfie.
Thanks, bud. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. I'd like to thank, like everybody here, but especially them guys.
Speechless or
Yeah,
what?
I'm speaking. Well, my best friend's wife hates me, so I don't know what to say. But anyways, I'd like to thank everybody, and I just want to start off like, I had all these things I was going to write that I wrote down and things to remember, but for some reason I just can't think of them now. And a very close friend of mine told me to write down little points. And I had Paul Grant before I walked in here, actually a couple days ago, but I thought about it. He says, Al, when did you think you became a pro bowler? I'm like, what? So now my whole things I was going to say went down the tubes. I'm like, so I went back in time. And I didn't realize some stuff that I had done. Illegally, a girl from the X-Lanes who ran it asked me to, I was 13, to go and bowl in a TV roll-off in West Springfield. So I took my bike over there, and I go upstairs, and I got some shoes, and I use the alley balls, and I throw a 370, and I win. And it was a kid's show. I didn't know it was a kid's show, though. I thought it was a TV roll-off. So I walked up to the counter, and I said, listen, miss, I'm pretty sure I won this. She said, yes, you did. I said, I'm on a bicycle. How big is this TV? And I'm not kidding you. I was 13. And so she says, you didn't win a TV. You're going on TV. I'm like, I don't want to go on TV. But anyways, I lost on that TV show. Because I went to go to Boston. I threw it doesn't matter what I threw. But, and then I noticed that, I'm just going to go quick ahead in time here because a friend of mine, Bill Surratt, said, Alfie, your average is too high for this league. You need to go bowl in a different league. And I walked in to this bowling alley, and the first guy I saw was Charlie Jutras, Jeff Atkins, Johnny Miller, Dave Romani. The older dudes in here knows those guys, and I walked into a bowling alley where everybody was on television except for me. And Jutras come over after a little while, said, you're a pretty good bowler. And I said, I was stunned that he was even talking to me. I watched him when I was a kid. And he says, there's a tournament next week. There's a pro tour thing you should get on. You're a good bowler, blah, blah, blah. You get into this and da-da-da-da. So I'm like, okay, no, because known Charlie for being a guy who just will take your money. I've watched him do it in single events and bowl bad on purpose to get the guy's money. I knew Charlie since I was a kid, he just didn't know that. So I don't go to the store. So I come back the next week, and I have the nerve to walk up to him, and I say, well, Charlie, who won that tournament? He goes, you're not going to believe this. He goes, some guy rolled a 246. It was you. It was a 245. He was a 245. I'm like, I'm not bowling in that tournament. But what, are you kidding me? So he goes, yeah, and he goes, Alfie. He says, I asked, did he do this? Because I always wanted to ask you this, and I never did. Did he walk off the alley and let you bowl? No, because then he lied to me. But
It was on the other side. Charlie was on.
Because Charlie told me he stepped back because he said he couldn't believe what he was watching. And he was a gentleman like that. And then he asked me to bowl in a 10-stringer, and I never bowled in a 10-stringer before. He says, Alf, it's $50. It's in Pittsfield. You can win $1,000. You get better prizes. You need to start bowling. So I get the best guy I worshipped telling me to go do this, and I go. I win the thing. It was very weird. So Charlie, it's $1,000. I couldn't believe it. And so we're going out to eat. Charlie pulls me aside and he says, Alf, you see all these people here at this dinner? You're not buying their dinner. Don't you give them a dime for that dinner. And I'm like, and he was right, because I would have picked up that tab. But I didn't. So me and him became very good friends. He became my mentor. And then I became a wicked idiot, like a jerk. Right? I really, really did. I guess a lot of you guys know this, especially that bowled with me, Stevie. I got very cocky, angry, and I got thrown out of the Western New England Candlepin Association for a year. And it kind of answers Paul's question that he gave me, which changed this whole speech, was that when did you become a pro bowler? When I got thrown out for that year, I couldn't bowl on Channel 5. I couldn't bowl in any tournaments. And before that, I had won 4 of the first 5 Channel 5 roll-offs in a row. Again, I was cocky, and I swore a lot and kicked the ball returns, not knowing really what I looked like, but it was bad. Excuse me. Sorry. Got any water or something? Yeah. I got a bad throat, too, thing. Sorry about that. So, where was I? Oh, so then Charlie really took me under his wings and told me, like, Alf, you got to stop doing this, stop doing that, start using your anger to get there. And we traveled and traveled everywhere together, me and him. And that's when I realized sorry. I had become a pro bowler. It wasn't about winning. Believe me, when you go up against Peter Flynn, you're not thinking of winning, you're hoping of surviving. Peter Flynn, I got to mention this Peter, I'm sorry. He'll scare the living you-know-what out of you if you're next to this guy. And when you don't know him and you know his reputation, and then on your other side is Tommy Olster, who's actually treating you pretty nice. And I'm like, where am I? But watching them and Peter's intensity, Charlie's just calmed down. Tommy Olster's just, I'll never lose attitude. They both had it. And I realized I had to get there somehow. And I did. Winning didn't become the goal. It became to be one of them. So I couldn't thank Ralph Semb enough for throwing me out of that. To this day. Because I don't think I would have been where I was. Bob Kelly, another one. You see this big dude, young, walk up and throw the ball 80 miles an hour. I'm like, I'm just saying that, Bob, because you and Peter were unstoppable. And I used to enjoy watching But Tommy Olsta we become friends. I had a double overtime match with him on TV, and I lost to a 7 box, and he turns to me and he goes, Al, it was the 7 box. I said, thanks, Tommy, you really need to know that. But things like that, it's like the young lady that was here before me, she's absolutely right. I wanted to beat you really bad, whoever I'm bowling against. But then later when you sit down, that's all gone. The same guy that just beat you is now just saying, hey, good show, man, good job. And that's another part of this game that made me grow up. I still get mad. I still throw stuff like my towel and things like that. But this game helped my life like you can't believe. And right now I'm trying to change it back so more of us can be doing that. These guys know what I'm doing with the charity. I plan on doing this more ladies events. Maybe I shouldn't be putting this in right now, but we got to get the girls back in this game and get more events. I got Steve Renaud helping me with that immensely. A lot of the bowlers are coming up to help us get this ladies thing going again. Janet Park. I mean, you ever watch Janet Park bowl? It's like unbelievable. She was on the men's show. I mean, on the live show. And I know I'm being a little crazy here, but we're really trying to get this game back to where it was. And it's going to be hard, but I'm not going to stop. He's not going to stop. And the charities help. I'm hoping more bowling alley owners can get into the charity events on this and promote your alleys and your charity at the same time, which will make the pots better for the bowlers, the young bowlers. And the one guy I fear, that Josh Daly, I'm glad I do not have to bowl against that guy. He scares me just standing behind him. But then you got Amanda, some of these other girls that are fantastic. Amanda was on the men's show, my first TV show we did for Candlepins for Cancer. So other than that, the whole thing I was going to say kind of went down the tubes because of Paul Grant. But it was a good thing because I probably should have addressed my temper and how it was and how this game saved it and made me a better guy.
Thank you. Thank you. Before you go, Alfie, you mentioned when I threw that 245 if Charlie did stop. The odd part about that 245 was I was at my own bowling center and I got a phone call that said, you're supposed to be in Westfield at the community lanes bowling in the Pro Tour. Holy mackerel, I almost forgot about it. So I left the bowling center, went to Westfield community lanes. I forgot my bowling balls. I forgot my bowling shoes. Now I'm using house balls, rental shoes, and gutters that are 6 inches deep on the other end. And I was able to throw that 245. So, Alfie, I say to you this. You're a replacement for Charlie Jutras. We've known him for years. I'm glad the temper's gone. I'm glad that you're there. You're helping the younger bowlers today get a better life and to get a better feel for Candlepin bowling. Thank you very much. Thanks, and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, he gave him a pin. I gave him a pin.